Hey, Pat, Dal, this is Batman. I'm calling you from Wayne Manor. I've heard about Challengers Comics and Conversation. How awesome is that? Congratulations. We need more stores like that. Donovan told me about it, and I am really happy for you. So congratulations, and I wish you all the luck in the world. Remember, Batman's got your back.
Come on and visit for any occasion. Don't keep Pat and Dal waiting. Comics and Conversation. Keep the conversation moving along. Keep reading comics, keep your local store strong. If it's hard, then it's a job for the challengers. Comics and Conversation, y'all.
From Challengers Comics and Conversation in Chicago, this is Contest of Challengers. And now, here are Patrick Brower and W. Dal Bush.
How awesome was that?
Pretty cool. I didn't know that anyone connected to Challengers knew Batman.
Batman.
I mean, we've had all these Batman days, and we never thought to reach out to Batman to appear at the event.
Batman could have been in all of them.
So many wasted Batman days.
That's the kind of thing that I never would have thought of, but didn't realize how much I wanted it.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
And then after we got it, I started looking like, who else can we get?
Now you got the itch.
I got the itch, but we don't need it. Donovan Challenger, thank you so much.
Thanks, Dove.
That was a wonderful surprise.
Yeah.
It was pretty great. Pretty great. I don't know if it sounds different to anybody.
I think it should. It sounded different when we played it back.
Yeah, we're using some equipment.
Sophisticated technology.
Yeah, it's more than just my phone now. We have purchased
It's Patrick's phone plus.
the Q mic, a versatile mic with rich audio for any content creator. And that's us. We're content creators.
Yeah, which, by the way, we bought this. This is not like a promotional advertisement or anything. This is something that we bought. No one gifted to us.
Yeah, in fact, I kickstarted this specifically for the podcast. It's from Alphoto. I don't even know. I've, of course, at the time got the red microphone for Challengers Red. However, there was a blue option. Oh, well.
I have to get a second one.
I dropped the ball. There's so many extra pieces and components. But hopefully this is a better sound for us.
Let's hope.
And I could probably just lay it down and stuff, but it's got this whole tripod and phone holder and all this stuff.
Yep.
It looks pretty sophisticated. Next, we're going to need microphone shields so we don't pop our P's.
Yep.
And then soundproofing on the walls.
Yep. Cans for our ears.
Yeah.
Not headphones, Patrick.
Cans. Definitely. So, yes, that is how serious we take this. We bought things for this podcast.
Yep.
We seem to be in a buying phase, but that's because we need to buy a lot of things.
Yes.
For the thing that we're doing. But, I know that we just talked about Batman talking about our new endeavor. I feel like we should hold off on it a little bit for this episode because I don't know if we're too blue heavy.
Yeah, I mean, for one thing, we've been talking about it a lot. The last 2 episodes have been almost entirely dedicated to it. And for another thing, I don't know that I have anything new to say beyond weird anecdotal things, and not even interesting anecdotal things. They're just we are putting the store together. We are printing signs, and we are putting books on shelves, and we are putting lights in the ceiling, and we are painting things on the wall. And I mean, all that stuff is it's necessary, and overall, I think collectively it's interesting, but piece by piece, it's it would be like us just doing an episode where it's here's literally everything we did at Red this week, and it's some of that stuff just ain't that interesting, man. If you don't have, a larger analysis of it, if you're just listing it, then who cares?
Well, I just meant that we would save it till later in the episode. Because without it, we don't have a lot to talk about.
We'll see.
Because Blue takes all of our time.
Yeah, our normal recording schedule is kind of thrown out the window by all the extra stuff we have to do in River North, and also the event that we're doing on Saturday with AJ Mendez and Amy Garcia, and then all of the wrestling events that we are going to Saturday and Sunday.
Yes, and as fun as those will be, and it'll be nice to hang out with George and Parker.
Yeah.
They are really putting a crimp into the final week push.
Yeah, there were a few things this week where it's like, God damn, I wish that hadn't happened right now.
Like Kent going to decon.
Yeah, I don't want to be an asshole. But yeah, I mean, Kent being out of town, I really kind of screwed us this week. I mean, he's pursuing his career, and I can't blame him for that. I'm not mad at him about that, but it is super disappointing that, like, basically one of the days that, Patrick, both you and I are normally off, which means we can do actual physical construction there and we can get a lot of things done. And one of the reasons why I think in previous episodes we've been so excited about how much progress has been made on the Storm River North Challengers Blue is because we had multiple days there together to work on things and get it all done.
Yeah, and even when we didn't, I had George helping.
Right.
So the last time, like the last 2 Mondays, it would just be me by myself. Next Monday will be the same.
Yeah.
You're there by yourself.
I'm there Thursday and Friday by myself.
Thursday, which is your birthday.
My birthday.
But it'll already have passed by the time people hear this, so no wishing him.
November 21st. It already happened.
Which, by the way, can I just say, as a side note, how awesome was it, the several people that mentioned it today with no reminder? Like, I didn't tell anybody.
Oh, like social media reminders?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true.
Yeah, that just people that know.
Yeah, that was nice of them.
Yeah.
That was very considerate.
It's several as well.
We had, there was someone who was in earlier this week, and they were a subscriber, and when we have people fill out the subscription forms, we ask for their birthday. They don't have to give it to us, but some people do. And we put that in the computer system so that on the point of sale, if we're ringing you up and it's near your birthday, we might do something for you. It's not a set thing. It's kind of up to us to remember and decide what it's going to be. But somebody was in, and it was literally their birthday that day. So I'm like, oh, free comic book. There you go.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, we charged you a little bit less because it's your birthday. Happy birthday. And I just got how did you know that? Oh, do you have it on the screen? Yeah, but happy birthday.
Sorry.
Like, you sussed me out. Like, it's not a magic trick, but now I feel like it's nothing. Like, I did nothing for you because I saw it on the screen. I'm sorry.
No, I'm that kind of birthday dick where if I tell you my birthday once, I won't tell it to you again.
Right.
Which is unfair because I don't remember people's birthdays. I do have a spreadsheet for a bunch of people that I rely on Facebook. But recently a friend had said, whose birthday is coming up in December, said, your birthday is right by mine, right? And I said, no, it's literally as far away in the years it could be.
Yep. They're equidistant.
And you've literally been to a birthday party I threw once.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think it's super awesome that people knew.
I totally appreciate it. I'm not the kind of person who's like, don't talk to me on my birthday. Like, it's fine. I appreciate it. It's great. Thank you.
Just don't talk to me any other day.
Yeah. I mean,
but
the other days, no thanks. I will only accept birthday wishes and nothing else. But we've got the AJ Mendez and Amy Garcia event on Saturday, which means I can't be at River North on Saturday like I normally would to get a bunch of extra stuff done. So it's kind of one of the reasons why I almost have to go on Thursday, because otherwise I only have one day there, essentially to spend the day there before the store opens.
Yeah.
And that's we could open the store right now. There is enough product there. There are things on the wall. There is potentially enough illumination, maybe. But the finishing touches, the things that we can do to make it a little bit better and a little bit more challengers, that's all the last few days. And so to kind of lose one or one half or two of those days sucks. It sucks real bad. You feel it.
I lost Thursday.
Yeah.
You lose Saturday.
Saturday.
We both lose Saturday night and Sunday night.
Yeah. Like the next, I'm there Thursday and Friday, pretty much the entire day.
Yeah.
I don't know 100% how long I'll be there Friday. Some of it depends on how much I get done Thursday. But I'm definitely not going out there at any point on Saturday or Sunday.
Right.
Maybe Monday night, maybe.
I'm there all day Monday.
Right. So since you're there, like maybe if there's a thing where if you need some extra pair of hands, maybe I'll come out and do that.
We're definitely going there Tuesday night and probably late Wednesday night.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, Tuesday night for sure because we're dropping product off. And then checking out any finishing touches that we could potentially get done in the next 24 to 48 hours, which means Wednesday might be a thing of like, hey, we got to make one last stop at like Home Depot or Target or something to get stuff that we are going to need for Friday, and so we have to get over there super late Wednesday night to drop stuff off, and just kind of like, when we leave Wednesday night, like, it has to be done. It has to be ready to go. Like some of the exterior signage, we should hopefully get from the artist
tomorrow.
Hopefully tomorrow on Thursday, which means if FedEx is right and they can get it done in just a couple days, then hopefully we have that for Tuesday night to take there to put in the windows.
Yep.
You know, otherwise if it takes longer than that, like, then we have to get it Wednesday night or whatever. So it's a lot of stuff like that where I would rather have had the extra days now at the end and have lost days at the beginning than how we have it.
Yeah, and that's why we scurried so much in the beginning, because
we knew this week was basically lost.
Yep.
One way or another, between basically everything between, like, Saturday and Thanksgiving, there's only like a couple times we can really go to the store.
And just the number of times we had to go to Home Depot. Mm-hmm. That's like any do-it-yourself project, but you just keep finding out more and more things.
Yeah. But they're all, like...
necessary.
Yeah, the thankful thing, and I think it's hilarious that I spent a few minutes talking about how much I don't want to talk about the new store, because we've done it a ton, and there's nothing to talk about, and here we are 5 minutes later. But the trips we've made to Home Depot are... yes, it's money that we didn't necessarily... I don't want to say didn't budget for, but we didn't plan on taking from the budget.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. It's not money we didn't have, it's just money that we didn't think we were going to have to spend. But the thing that's not super negative about it is that it's not things where it's like, holy shit, if we don't do this, the whole thing's going to fall apart. You know, it's not...
it's additive.
Yeah, it's things that are like, oh, if we spent money on a few more light fixtures, it's going to be better. If we replaced these working light bulbs with better, higher lumens light bulbs, it's going to look better. If we, get a couple extra things, if we get an extra shelf for behind the counter, we have more places to put these extra things, and maybe we can move stuff around to get things a little bit more at hand. Like, all that sort of stuff is, yeah, I mean, it's kind of nickel and diming in a way where suddenly you're like, oh, I didn't realize we spent this extra few $100s, but I think we'll be glad we spent it once.
Just think
once we're
about
there.
how much money we saved by not having to buy a 8 or 10 temporary bookshelves.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. For those who are wondering, the counters still have not shown up yet. We have not heard anything from the guy who's making the counters.
No.
So at this point, I mean, if he emails tomorrow on Thursday to say I've got them, I can get them packed up and shipped out today, like, I don't know if they show up before Thanksgiving. They got to be on a truck from California.
Man, is that where they're coming from?
I think he's in like San Diego.
Wow.
Like, I don't know if that's a thing that gets to us.
Not on
Illinois
a holiday week. No.
Before Thanksgiving.
Nope.
I don't think so, dude. But maybe. I mean, I'm willing to be thrilled. You know.
There's laws about how long drivers can drive for.
Yeah. Maybe part of it goes on a train. I don't know. I don't know if a truck drives it all the way from San Diego, or a series of trucks and trains and boats and planes brings it to Chicago.
And automobiles. It's Thanksgiving time.
It's true.
That's when you talk about planes, trains, and automobiles.
Yep. But yeah, store's coming together. Wish we had more time, but I mean, shit. The two things I wish we had from the beginning was more money and more time.
Yeah.
But we have what we have.
I mean,
and it's going to open.
That's kind of life, right?
Kind of, yeah. It would be nice. It would always have been nice to have approached projects like these with a much larger budget and a much longer timeline, but that's just not the business we're in.
It's just such a weird feeling to think ahead to when Blue is open and we have routines for each day at each store.
Yeah.
It'll be nice just to have to go to one store a day.
Yeah, I mean, I'm already kind of thinking about, like, December, where I am working at 2 stores 6 days a week, as like, oh man, it's going to be nice to go, like, downshift a little bit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that insane?
Yeah, to just, like, already I'm feeling it a little bit at Red, because a lot of the first 10 days of the month was getting a ton of product off of Red shelves, getting it out of the system, getting it ready to go over to Blue. And now at Red, it's like, oh, I don't have to do anything extra for Blue when I'm at Red now. Not really. I mean, there's been a couple little things, flyers or whatever.
Sure.
A few signs that we made had to get resized. But in general, like, what I'm working on this next Sunday is, like, the Sunday before the store opens in River North, is just the regular like monthly catalog stuff that I'm usually working on at that time of the month.
Yeah.
You know, breaking that down, putting that up on the website.
Yeah, but that reminds me that I have not touched the order pack.
Yeah, me neither.
And
We both have to do it now. Isn't
yeah,
that great?
yeah, we do. No, we both
I
have to.
emailed our like new store, new account onboarding rep at Diamond to find out like, hey, can I do the new catalog through Comic Suite, or do I need to get it to you separate from that? Because the first one we had to send to her,
Right.
because she has to, but now that we have Comic Suite, like I kind of don't want to not use Comic Suite,
Right, of course.
but I don't know if that's an option, or if Comic Suite we never tried this. I don't know if Comic Suite can export it as like an Excel file or something that we can just send to them. I don't know.
Sure,
Hopefully
I'm sure
she'll
it
email
does.
me back. But yeah, I mean, that's
When
the
did
thing.
you...
I emailed her this morning when we got to
okay.
the store. So
Okay.
Wednesday at like 11:30, and I have not heard anything back yet. But I kind of don't expect to until Thursday. Yeah,
Yeah, we're recording this really early in the week for us just because of the time frame.
yeah, between Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, which are days that we would normally record, and usually there would be one thing that might pop up on one of those days, so we'd shift to another day. But now it's like literally every day is
Everything.
screwed. So Wednesday night, we know we can record. It's late. We don't have a ton to talk about, and we're very tired. But at least this way, it's done.
We're
know
still
that we
getting it out
finished
there. We're still getting out there because we don't want to let our rabid fans and listeners down. Thank you, Darcy.
The contesticles.
The-
That's what they're called, right?
oh my goodness,
Contest
no.
of Challengers fans?
No, here I am trying to thank Darcy Van Polgeest.
Contestadors?
And you're making it terrible.
Do you like Contestadors better?
I don't. I do not at all. As Dal mentioned, well, by the time you listen to this, the Glow signing will have happened.
I hope. God, I hope. Oh, Jesus.
It's a big event. It kept getting bigger. At the time we finish recording this, it'll be right about the time tickets go off sale.
Yeah.
And we need to take tickets off sale because it's rapidly growing.
Yeah, we need to prep all of the lists and send out emails to people who are attending the event, and then also start to figure out, like, we're going to have to start ordering the second issue, and it's like, well, how many copies? Because people have pre-bought issues 1 through 4.
Yes.
So we got to make sure we have enough of 2, 3, and 4.
In a fun event today, AJ Mendez came to the store to see her book on the shelf.
Sure. As one does.
Sure, yes.
You know, you,
it's her first comic.
You created a comic with a group of people, and it's out there in the world, and it exists now. It's not just a script on a laptop or pages you're getting from the editor, or, you know, texts or DMs to the artist. Like, it's a physical thing. Everyone can read it now. It's kind of
so
amazing.
We got to go over the whole day's plan with her and tell her our thoughts and ideas, and she did a bunch of Instagramming.
Yeah.
There was one bit where I was walking her to the shelf, and Kent was sitting in one of the red chairs, reading comics as he is want to do on Wednesdays.
As he does on a Wednesday. You're taking him with you to River North, right?
And as we walked by, I paintbrushed his face with my hand, and he put his hand up like he thought I was going to high five or something.
Yeah.
He was just saying hi.
Uh-huh.
And so I quickly paintbrush him, and then a step later you hear him go, rude, on her video.
Uh-huh.
But the best part was watching it back. She caught that.
Yeah, she moved the camera just a little bit to the right to catch you do it.
And then I was able to take a screen cap of right when my hand hit his face. And it was the thing that made me happiest today.
Yeah, listeners, I don't know if you can tell this from Patrick's voice, but he is prouder of this thing that he did to Kent's face than he is of anything we've been doing in River North
I mean,
for the past several weeks.
it came together so perfectly.
Yeah.
Yeah, loved it.
Everything by
Loved
comparison for Challengers Blue has
It-
been a
it wasn't-
disappointment.
it
but
wasn't
this
hard.
thing he did to Kent's face is like the memory for 2019.
And
That's it.
I immediately sent it to Kent, and he responded with, well, that sums up our relationship.
It was pretty good.
Yeah, Kent, I'm not sorry. You know I'm not sorry.
No.
I'm very, very
Everyone
proud
knows
of that.
you're not sorry.
Yeah, I'm ridiculously proud of that.
You really are. I don't think you're ridiculously proud. You're rightfully proud.
I'm rightfully proud. Yeah, it's so good. So good. And then we had to ask AJ to leave because once she saw her book on the shelf, she started kind of humping the shelf.
Yeah.
And, kids shop here.
Yeah, I think because you're friends with her, I think you were a little bit more forgiving of it. But to my mind, we have rules, and the rules apply to everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
I don't care if you're a creator. I don't care if you're a celebrity. I don't care if you're just an average fan. Like, we ask that you not hump the shelves. I feel like we've made that abundantly clear.
And if
There's so many signs in the store that say, please do not hump the shelves. And I know she can read. She wrote a book.
Yeah. And if you think we're joking, literally it's on her Instagram story.
Yeah. Bragging about it.
Yeah, and then like literally after we had to have her leave, when she got home, she immediately did they kicked me out of the store.
Yeah.
So that's proof that it
Actions have
happened.
consequences.
Yeah.
I like you with Kent, I don't feel bad about that.
I'm glad that she was proud of her work and excited. I just wonder what's going to happen to all the fans on Saturday.
Yeah.
So we're cutting off the tickets at 155.
It said 156 at least.
156.
Before we started recording.
Okay, geez, so that's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot of people.
It's more than everybody expected, in a good way.
Yeah, we set the ticket limit really high because we never really know what's going to happen. And the creators had said from the start that they wanted to meet as many fans as possible. So we're like, all right, we'll put a huge number up there. And we are coming close to it. So
it's just that all day today, and will be tomorrow and Friday.
yes.
The number of phone calls of people with all sorts of questions that are
Hopefully-
for them. Yeah, hopefully not, because
Yeah, I mean, we cut off ticket sales, so people's questions about tickets and stuff hopefully is done. But go on.
just out of 156 tickets sold, there's going to be like 140 people who have a great time, and there's going to be a handful of people who are trying to game the system and
Who are just a
want
problem.
special attention, and who. Well, I know what the rules are, but what about me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like this pessimistic outlook is what we talk about all the time in front of Free Comic Book Day or events and things like that.
Yeah, it's funny because like you're only going to get two kinds of event dialogue from us. Post-event ones where we're super sad because the turnout was not what we had anticipated or what we'd hoped for the creator, or stuff that's going so well that we're super angry about how much extra work and how like problematic the people attending are. Like there doesn't seem to be one where we're like, it's so great that all these people care, or it's so great that all these people cared. Instead, it's like so many people are coming and it's exhausting and they're making waves, or no one showed up. Where are all these ingrates? You know, why is there no middle ground with us? Why is there no happy medium?
I made a realization about myself, and it is it's not so much of a take life by the horns, live in the moment kind of thing, but my life has been structured on kind of a reward system.
How do you mean?
Like, there's a thing that I want to do, but I can't let myself do it until I achieve another thing.
Can you give me an example?
Yes, I will give you multiple examples.
Please.
It goes all the way back to when I was in high school and we had double sessions for football practice. Double sessions are 2 practices over the span of a summer day.
Okay.
Like
Isn't that frequently called a 2-a-day?
it's called different things, yeah.
Okay.
We call them double sessions, but 2-a-day.
I think I've heard 2-a-day.
Some
more
people
often.
had 3-a-days, but so it's the late August months, the hours or whatever. It's like 10 to 12, and then you got to walk home, and then you got to be back there by like 2 o'clock or whatever it was. I don't remember the times.
Sure.
But I had a stack of comics that I was getting through that summer, and I wouldn't let myself read certain ones until I got through this practice. Then it became the next practice.
Okay.
And that one Conan annual, I kept pushing off all summer. Like, well, I said I was going to read it after practice, but I've got another practice, so I'll wait. I never read that book.
Yikes.
I just never read it.
That's not good.
I have an Emma Frost action figure that you got.
Yeah, the Walgreens exclusive,
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Just sitting on my turntable. I'm like, well, I'll open that when I have a day off. I haven't had a day off.
Yeah, right?
Like, well, I'll open that when it's a weekend. Well, the weekends are too busy.
Yeah.
Now it's like, do I open it when Blue starts? Like, what? Why? Like,
Why can't you just enjoy things?
exactly. So
Why can't?
the idea of holding on to that toy and not opening that action figure until I've earned it is A, putting too much pressure on that figure.
Yeah, now it has to be something
worth
that was worth
all
all
that
of
effort.
the extra denial that you gave yourself.
But B, it's weeks since I've had it, and I could have been enjoying it this whole time.
Yeah, or at the very least not have it essentially hanging over your head.
Yeah, and as a positive, as a thing that I want to do.
Yeah,
so why not just do it?
It's like this happiness sort of Damocles.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of. Is that a thing?
But by the time you get to it, the blade has rusted and dulled from misuse.
Yes. And then just kind of clatters to the ground.
And
not even falling on
I'm
you.
not talking about like, do what you want, like sociopathically.
No.
I'm saying that.
But just if you have a chance for enjoyment, don't talk yourself out of it. Don't find a reason to not enjoy something, which is what it sounds like you frequently do. Where you put these obstacles up where it's like, I could enjoy this, but for reasons known only to me that affect no one else, I am going to deprive myself of this until a point in the future.
But as the 80s hair metal band Prophet told us, tomorrow never comes. Yesterday goes on and on.
Wow. I don't think you can do any more. JVO is going to cut that out.
I mean, I know I can't drop it in.
That's it.
That's for sure.
2 lines. That's all you can
for
do.
So we need to get JVO to update the outro.
Oh, yeah.
Right now it's me doing it.
Oh.
It's plugged in.
Yeesh.
But then I thought, what if we didn't get JVO?
No?
What if we got Batman?
Does Batman do that? Does he do public service announcements like that?
I mean, I feel like it's the same kind of thing.
I guess. I don't know. I've never thought to ask Batman.
What if we got Batman to do the intro and outro?
What if we got
to this
Batman to do
podcast?
all of this? To just do
Right.
the podcast?
Hey, Contest of Challengers listeners, I'm Batman.
They showed...
From Chicago, Illinois.
Yeah, right? This is Batman and Batman. Speaking of the Batman, the CW showed off some more photos from their upcoming Crisis on Infinite Earths television event.
Yeah.
Including the first picture of Kevin Conroy as live-action Batman, or live-action Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne, yeah.
And it's the sort of thing where it's like, I'm a sucker. I looked at it. It just looks like Kevin Conroy in like kind of like a button-up shirt and like a coat, and he's got some harness or something on him. It's like, it doesn't look like anything. It looks like Kevin Conroy in a nice jacket.
For the record, what Donovan got us that you heard at the beginning of this episode was actually a video message.
Oh, yeah?
But clearly, you know this.
I didn't see it. Oh, I heard it. I didn't know it was more than an audio thing. No.
Oh.
You played it for me on your phone.
Yeah.
On the speaker in your car. I think.
Oh, through the speaker in the car, okay.
I think.
Yeah, anyway, it's a video of him, but it's exactly what you described.
Okay.
It's just Kevin Conroy sitting in a house.
Yeah.
It actually kind of has an echo because it is a house.
Sure.
And he's doing like, yeah, I'm Batman. And talking about being in Wayne Manor.
Yeah.
Like, this is your house.
Yeah.
But when you just hear it, it's amazing.
Oh, yeah, which is why I'm glad I only heard it. I don't need to see Kevin Conroy. I mean, I need to envision Batman saying it, or Bruce Wayne at least.
Yeah.
Not the voice actor who is famous for performing as Batman or Bruce Wayne. Plus, that was his Batman voice, not his Bruce Wayne voice. They're two different voices.
They're two different voices. Yeah,
because
that's true.
he's a goddamn professional.
That's right. So the glow signing, hopefully it went well.
Yeah, I hope so too.
And we also need everybody out by 5 o'clock so we can go to a wrestling event.
Yes. We will put on a signing with a former professional wrestler and a TV personality, and then we are going to go to a different wrestling event. We have NXT TakeOver tickets, and we are going to it.
I got to tell you that I'm not looking forward to that level of a business day, and then cramming into a Allstate Arena seat.
Yeah.
And being hassled by that crowd, and
you can get up and walk around a bit.
I'm gonna have to. Hopefully, I can see Stuart Schreck from DC Comics there because he's in town Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Depending on what side of the arena we're on, if there's Stuart.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Pointing at him.
That's a very good point.
There is at ringside.
That's a good point.
Hard to miss. But yeah, I mean, maybe if he's got a minute during one of the matches, you guys can meet up at the
yeah, I can't go down by him.
The nacho stand.
I don't have tickets to let me go where he goes.
They will not let you down there.
So we talked about Glow and we talked about the wrestling events, but another event that we've put on the social media on our website and Facebook, we have two signings.
Two signings now because we announced the other one
from Daniel Warren Johnson on the same day.
Yeah, I was going to say we have 2 signings now booked for December at River North.
Yeah, but we already talked about one last week.
But we weren't even like planning on doing events in December. Like we were very much of the store's not going to be ready yet. But now these are things where we're like, yeah, let's do this.
Yes. So Daniel Warren Johnson, for the release of Wonder Woman Dead Earth #1, the Wednesday it comes out, which is Wednesday, December 18th, the last new comic Wednesday before Christmas, we have Daniel in River North from 4 to 5:30, and then in Bucktown from 6-ish till done.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, realistically, it's probably going to be more like 4 to 5, and then 6 to 7. But we'll see.
We wanted to be after 5 so people could leave work.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people's work schedules are different. I don't know. It's 5 o'clock a normal leave time?
I saw a bunch of people coming in from after work in Bucktown today at like not even 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
So I don't even know.
So yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. But we're very excited for this because it's Daniel's first Big 2 publisher work.
Yeah.
He's writing and he's drawing, and it sounds like
And now he's at the other Big 2, Bucktown and River North.
That's right. It's definitely in his wheelhouse. He was on Off Panel this week talking almost exclusively about it.
That's cool.
A lot of great detail. It's a real fun take. We've already gotten PDF previews, which muddy up the art.
Yep, of course, because they're PDFs.
Yep.
Full of watermarks.
But as soon as they announced it, I reached out and told them how excited we were with the book and said, I'm sure you've already had a million people ask, but, if you want to do something, we'd love to have you.
Yeah.
And we were lucky to get him because of the way the holidays are working out.
Yeah.
And he's actually doing another signing closer to Christmas, but I think it's where he'll be for Christmas. I'm not sure.
Yeah, we were lucky that the book drops, the Wednesday before, and it's kind of a time that not a lot of people want to travel necessarily, especially if they're traveling for Christmas the next week.
Especially if they have family or young kids like he does.
So it did really work out in our favor to be a local shop to Daniel to make that possible.
He was going to let us know, and then he got back to us this week and said, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then I'm like, so you're going to do 1 signing.
Uh-huh. Are
you willing to do 2? And he was, because he's a hell of a guy.
Yeah, and again, this is really a trial. Like, it's something that we wanted to do. I wanted to do. Once we really were thinking hard about the idea of 2 stores is being able to maximize having an artist or a writer or a creator for an event, because as we've talked about ad nauseum, attendance is frequently not what we want at Bucktown. But if attendance is even equally anemic at River North, collectively that becomes worth someone's time, and it becomes worth our time and money to put on and promote. So we're really using this to see, does having the opportunity to do 2 signings in one day with a creator make doing signings become valuable again? Like that, if it works out, not only just the timing, but the attendance between the 2 stores, then it genuinely does make us reconsider, like, do we fly somebody out and put somebody up? Because now we have a double audience to promote them to.
Yeah.
So hopefully this works, because, if people turn out, then we will absolutely do more signings. That's always been our strategy, is like, if this is valuable, then we'll do more of it. And if it's not valuable, then we do less of it.
So the week before that, Wednesday, December 11th, we'll have Brian Crowley only in River North.
Yes.
We don't know the times yet,
yeah.
But it'll be for the 15th anniversary of Hack Slash and his creator-owned book, Hamster Rage. We're deciding on a time. It's basically up to us. I just haven't... It's the second Wednesday we'll be open. I have no idea what to tell him.
Yeah, we don't... We only have a couple subscribers right now, so we don't even know what the audience is like there.
Sure. So, yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
And then we had another creator call today looking to set something up. Was that at both, or just at one, or you talked to them on the phone today? Because they have a new book coming out.
Oh, right. Yeah, sorry.
See, I really didn't want to say the name, so I don't have to.
No.
Edit.
I don't know if it was. I honestly don't know. I think it was River North, but it could be both. Or
okay.
I don't know. Honestly, it didn't get that far. It was basically a kind of don't know right now. We got to figure some stuff out. So yeah, it'll be December or January. It'll probably be both stores. It might honestly just be not the same day for both stores. It might just be like, we'll do one day here and one day
well,
there.
if they were looking for Wednesdays, they're kind of all gone
in
already?
December, basically probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
But he said January was fine, so we might figure out something for January.
Sure.
And there's somebody else that's got a book dropping in January that I kind of want to talk to, but I don't know. I just haven't had a chance.
Does Alan Moore have a new book coming out?
He does not have any more books coming out.
He's
he's definitely done.
Sure, definitely. Heard that before.
We're going to have him for Alan Moore's going to be doing a signing for Doomsday Clock number 12 when that comes out.
Yeah.
That's our strategy. He'll be doing sketches on the new blank yellow cover.
That is December 18th, and that looks to be the biggest release date in the history of comics.
Yeah, you said it.
Especially
it
because
sounds daunting with the Marvel stuff.
We're also getting all the stuff for the next week. Week.
What little there is, but yes.
Yeah, but I mean that just means
that's true.
A lot of boxes, a lot of unpacking.
Yeah, man, 2 stores worth.
Yeah, and then having to sit on stuff for a week and whatever, and that means for that week, New Comic Day is Thursday, so that means Kent has to deal with
26th?
it.
Yeah, it's fine though. I don't know how busy we'll be that day.
Right.
I expect a lot of people who would come in for new books will be straggling in through the 31st. Like, they might be out of town. They might just have, out-of-town guests in.
Right.
I don't think there's... Especially because the week is not going to be that huge, so there's not going to be this huge rush of, I can't miss whatever. Although, I'm trying to think what there is. It's Incoming. It's Spider-Ham, I think.
Okay.
There might be an X-Men comic. I honestly don't remember. Incoming is the big one for Marvel, though, and I don't think that's got anywhere near enough traction to make people make a special trip to the store.
No, it was real eye-opening to see how many copies of Annihilation Scourge are on the shelf still.
Yeah, which I read it, because I'm like, anytime it's a number 1, I want to at least give it a read, which I'm glad I did for some stuff. I read Olympia number 1 from Image, and I thought it was actually pretty good.
Nice.
It was it's not, changing the world. It's a, kind of almost a Jeff Lemire Plutona thing meets, Godland or whatever. Basically, there's a kid who's reading like a Jack Kirby-esque comic, and the Jack Kirby-esque hero character ends up falling to Earth. So the kid has to help the hero guy.
Okay.
Yeah, it's cute. It's cute the way that it's doing a Kirby thing, but also kind of this not gritty, but like a real worldy thing. It's for what I was not anywhere near on my radar. When I picked it up, I thought, I might read a second one of these.
That's cool.
But Annihilation Scourge, I mean, it's doing an okay, interesting thing. I mean, the main premise of the book is that something is happening in the negative zone that's forced Blastar and Annihilus to team up. There is a new incursion that's taking over and destroying everything, and you find out at the end of the issue who's behind it. And it's kind of cool because Rosenberg's pulling in some stuff from other Cosmic Event series that I really liked.
Okay.
That I wasn't expecting to see again. And not in a huge way, but just in these are the kind of lieutenant characters of the main villain. But then on the last page, they tell you who the main villain is, and I'm like, oh, no one's going to care about this.
Is it Mark Shaw?
I mean, I'll tell you it is if you want.
I mean, I want to know, but I don't want you to ruin it for people.
I wonder if it's a thing that's even going to be secret anymore, because it's apparently, and I don't know if they showed the cover to Annihilation Scourge Omega, but they're on the cover to Annihilation Scourge Omega. That's coming out in, I think a few weeks? I don't know. It does not, like a lot of Marvel Absolute Carnage, War of the Realms events, it doesn't seem like anyone cares about this. We have not had a lot of subscription ads, and no one was really talking about it today. They were all buying $20.99 Alpha and Absolute Carnage and Marauders and Excalibur. Annihilation Scourge might as well not even come out.
That's what I was saying all along.
That it should not come out?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're the smart one.
No offense to Matthew Rosenberg. He does a lot of good work.
Yeah, and Matt Rosenberg is a guy that like a lot of creators at Marvel unfortunately have to do, is very proactive about promoting his Marvel work, trying to get the word out, doing what he can to help retailers sell his books at Marvel, when that should 100% be Marvel's promotional department's job and not the individual creators who are working for hire. It should not be incumbent upon them to promote work they do not own. But they have to, because that's what you do now.
Yep.
But yeah, the Annihilation Scourge thing, like a lot of Marvel stuff, it's just too much. You've got so much stuff coming out from Marvel alone on a weekly basis that how are you going to get eyeballs on this thing? Like, you're releasing Annihilation Scourge, which is like a $5 book. At the same week, you're releasing Absolute Carnage 5, which is a $5 book. 29.99 Alpha, which is a $5 book. One is the end of a 4-month-long event, and the other is the start of a 3-month-long event.
Yeah.
And then you're doing this Scourge thing on top of that, and that's not even counting every other goddamn book that came out this week.
Not counting incoming.
Yeah, I mean, just this week.
Oh, sure.
Captain Marvel, Captain America, Marauders, Excalibur. I mean, so many goddamn books. Deadpool #1 came out. That was a $5 book. You're asking for Annihilation Scourge to not get noticed by releasing it. I don't even want to say on this week, because every week is like this. There is no slow weeks. Even if you're releasing something like Spider-Ham, it's coming out the same day as Incoming, which is a $10 book. It doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't want to make this comparison just because we watched AEW Dynamite on TNT, and it was another good episode. But when you have like a 2-hour block of wrestling and you have a very large roster, it's important to figure out how best to move pieces around so that you're showing people off often enough that no one forgets that they're there, but they're not blocking anybody else from getting airtime, you know? Maybe Nyla Rose doesn't wrestle every week. Maybe, fingers crossed, Hangman Adam Page doesn't wrestle every week. Maybe Darby Allin skips a couple weeks, so when he comes back, it's a big deal. Marvel has this thing where everything needs to be right now. Like, they can't bear to have less than like 40 books a week, it seems. So you've got all of these events running at once, and they're all overlapping. And it's not like you can look at a week's Marvel's books and go, well, here's the event book. This is the important one to read this week.
Because now there are events.
Yeah. There's so many that are running concurrently that it's impossible to make any of them feel important. And the best you can do is charge the most, and that somehow makes it pop the most, I guess. So yeah, I feel badly for Matt Rosenberg that we kind of shit on Annihilation Scourge Alpha a little bit, but anecdotally it's not selling, and no one's talking about it, and no one cares, because Marvel has not created enough fan bandwidth for any fans to figure it out, to even know about it, and which is why guys like Matt Rosenberg have to send out emails to stores saying, please don't forget this book exists. I put a lot into it, and no one's going to see it, because it's the 7th or 8th most important Marvel book that came out this week.
I was talking to our good friend R.J. Casey from Fantagraphics.
Yeah, there you go.
And he was talking about the most recent issue of the Comics Journal.
The Journal.
And he had
TCJ.
asked if anybody was talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, no. Like, we've for each issue since it's come back, we've sold out and had to get more.
Mm-hmm.
But there's no chatter.
No.
And he's disappointed because there were some like really thought-provoking pieces that they had in there that he thought would really get people's attention.
Yeah.
And it made me wonder if, on the larger scale, people don't talk as much about comics in the shops because they're doing it online.
I wonder. My experience today, so it was Wednesday, so we talked to a lot of people about a lot of things.
You were going out of your way to say, hey, what are which X-Men books are grabbing you? What do you want to,
Because this is, I think this is the first week, because Fallen Angels came out last week.
Yeah.
So this is the first week that all #1s have come out. So I kind of wanted to know from people, like, what's working for them, what isn't. What are they excited about? How do they feel about the X-Men line now? To sort of take the temperature a little bit. Because we're still ordering, issues 4 and 5 at this point. And I want to know if people are like, I'm on the bubble. Like, well, I'm probably going to drop my numbers a little bit. But, I mean, to a person, folks are like, I am liking them all. Like, even Fallen Angels, which was one that we had a subscriber, like, the night they bought it, email us to say, please take that off my list.
Yeah.
Which was like, oh, this is a bad sign. 2 different people today are like, I really liked it. So,
okay.
It's all clearly working for folks.
I have not read it or this week's X books, and I'm getting further and further behind because
time.
Blue.
Yeah. The good news, you'll have some days that you'll probably be sitting there with nothing to do, so keep in mind what you haven't read, go to the shelves, pull it off the shelves. but I definitely felt like I spent more time today. Like I would prompt people with, hey, this issue of Deadpool is really good, or what do you think of the X-Men stuff, or whatever comics that they might have or might be thinking about or asking about. But the stuff they were coming at me with wasn't comic stuff generally. It was wrestling stuff. It was The Mandalorian. It was like all that sort of stuff. And it's always kind of weird to me. And we call it comics and conversation, but if you're buying comics, we can talk about nearly whatever you want. No religion, no politics, probably. But anything short of that, like, and yeah, I will talk politics with people. I spent a while talking horrifying politics with someone on Monday, I think. But we don't usually get a lot of, and maybe your experiences are different, Patrick. I don't feel like I get a lot of people coming in saying, I'm excited to talk about these books.
No, and that's one of the reasons I brought up this topic.
It's
was
weird,
because,
right?
Yeah, and it used to be, not water cooler talk, but definitely the Wednesday after a huge book comes out, people are talking about it, and there seems to be an underlying level of chatter.
Yeah, and I mean,
there's not anymore.
There's some exceptions. Like, I felt like the first couple weeks of House of X and Powers of 10, we were definitely getting people coming in saying, oh my god, that was so good, I can't believe what just happened, or whatever. Like, there were more people unprompted raving about the book, which is how we knew it was a phenomenon, because, again, people unprompted don't tend to talk about the books.
Yeah.
And there's a few people, I don't want to paint every customer with this brush, because there are a few people that on a weekly basis when they come in on Wednesdays for their books, they want to talk about something that just happened in the books last week. And again, it's frequently X-Men stuff. That seems like the stuff that is getting the most engaged fans right now. Like, we don't weirdly hear a lot of people talking about what just happened in Batman. And Batman is the highest selling DC ongoing series. And that's one that I don't feel like I get a lot of feedback from fans at all beyond a general unease with how Tom King's run is ending and how people feel about that. But they're not
we
talking
did have
about
a guy
the
today
content of the book.
a guy today say, what issue is the start of the current Batman storyline? And we both said
Issue 1. Issue 1. I mean,
He's
technically,
like, I'm looking to jump on. I'm like, well, wait 2 issues.
yeah, City of Bane technically started, I think, with 75, but
Yeah,
it's...
this was part 9.
I mean, they're bringing up stuff in these issues that is literally what the first storyline that Tom King did was about.
Yeah.
Like, thematically, these few issues are an answer to a question that he was posing as a writer in, like, literally issue 1 of Batman Rebirth. Like, when Batman's on that plane and he's trying to steer it away from Gotham City, this, like, issue 83, 84, and 85 are him answering that question.
Yep.
It's kind of amazing. Like, it's not... I'm not loving a lot of the current Batman stuff. I think I've mentioned that. I feel like the sweet point of that run was right before the wedding issue. Like, basically, the stuff from the end of War of Jokes and Riddles, which I did like, through issue 50 were my favorite part of that run.
So 25 to 47.
No, not even 25, because 25 is the start of War of Jokes
Oh,
and
yeah,
Riddles.
okay.
So it's basically like 35-ish to 49 are great. Especially the Lois and Clark, Bruce and Selina.
But you're adding the Joker 2-parter from 47 to 40, from 48 and 49 in there.
Yeah.
And I thought you really didn't like that.
I can't remember. I think you're probably right. But there's so many good things happening in there that that part of the run, when it's the two of them engaged, I thought was the best part. And the stuff that's happening now, I'm not loving it a whole lot. It even for Batman, it feels a little miserablest. They're bringing it back. The last few issues have had sparks of things that I've really liked. But the idea of kind of this run ending in a way where it is explicitly answering this question from the beginning and having it all be about this kind of one idea. Patrick, can I say what I feel like the theme, the entire theme that Tom King has for the Batman run is?
Yes, you can.
I don't want to ruin anything, but if you've been reading City of Bane, you know that Thomas Wayne has had a larger role in the story. And the first storyline brought up the idea of Batman thinks he's going to die in a plane crash as he's steering the plane away from Gotham, or he can't get it in time. And he wonders to Alfred what his parents would think of him, what if they'd be proud of the man that he became. And that kind of becomes an overall thread for the storyline is not a midlife crisis, because that's the standard Tom King theme, but specifically like, what would your parents think of the choices you made? Would they be happy with who you became, or sad, or how does that change your outlook and living up to their expectations? And a lot of the current City of Bane stuff is about the idea of Bruce Wayne kind of having to let go of that idea of what his parents would have wanted for him, because Thomas Wayne is explicitly unhappy with who Bruce Wayne is as Batman, and has refused to let him be Batman.
He's
anymore.
not Batman.
So we've reached the point in the storyline where Bruce basically has to say, I don't care what my parents think. I care what the people I love think, what the woman I love thinks of me, what I think of myself, how I view my evolution as a person. That has more value than what anyone else thinks of me. It's a self-actualization. But I like that it's framed in the idea of fuck you, Dad. Like, I like that that's kind of the way that Tom King is kind of shaping his narrative, is 85 issues of Bruce Wayne saying fuck you, Dad. Like, that's kind of great. I'm real happy with that. I was happy. I didn't love issue 83, but I liked that was kind of the
what
summation of
yeah.
it. Yeah. 85 Batman issues to say "fuck you, Dad." It's good stuff.
Yeah, but
It's
just
good comic writing.
to put a cap on the in-store conversation, one of the benefits of it for us is getting a feel for what to order.
Yeah,
And that's another avenue that seems like it's not really there for us anymore.
No, yeah. I mean, it's hard to again kind of get the temperature of a lot of books. Mostly it's down to people adding or dropping stuff, and that's kind of, we just telescope that out for all the other people who are not responding to say, okay, well, if more people are, if we had 3 people drop it today, we're going to have a lot more people not buying it off the shelf.
I think the single best tool that we have for getting subscribers to add books is the 11x17 flyer that's on the back of the computer monitor.
Do you think that works?
I see all the time people stop and look at it and say, oh, can you add this one and this one and this one?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. And
cool. I always felt like it was not performing that well.
I feel like it's the most, even more than the emails it gets.
Cool.
Yeah, and speaking of work that Dal does that benefits us, I just want to say publicly thank you to you for all of the work you've done with the ordering for the new store, and how much mind-numbing paperwork, and Diamond is very gracious in regards to new accounts or new stores. There's a lot of programs and subsidies.
There's shit I wish we had, 11 years ago.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah. They're really trying to cultivate more stores, and there's a variety of programs that we definitely took advantage of, and by we I mean Dal. But there's a whole lot of juggling as to find out which programs to use for which publishers and which books to get, and then when you add the Comic Suite subsidy on top of it, they're really, like I said, bending over backwards to help stores expand or to even open.
Yeah.
And the amount of just on a whole deciding what to stock and then how to get it. Like, I'm the guy that will carry the heavy things, spend hours with the back-breaking labor and hanging things. The idea of having to decide, all right, well, go through this spreadsheet and tell me what you want from it. When it's not just like, it's one thing to walk through our shelves and read and say, oh, we want this, 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 and this. But then to physically have to input it in the field of everything possible.
Yeah.
It's not. It's like, hey, I've got this bucket full of water. I want this water. Well, okay, but you have to get those specific drops from this ocean.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. It's I don't want to say it's something I enjoy doing, because that's maybe giving it too much praise, but it's something that I think I can do without...
It's something you're good at.
It's more, I guess more specifically, it's something that I can do without going crazy, which I guess is a talent. It's that sort of stuff doesn't... I don't stress out about it, and it doesn't bore me. So it's this nice middle zone where I can kind of just do it. It just gets done. I'm glad I don't have to do it every single week.
Oh God.
But yeah, it was a process. But like a lot of things with the new store, you can see the process working. You can see an outcome, and that's super valuable. Like a lot of these things that we'll sometimes work on is hard work towards something that you just kind of put out in the world, and it's like, I don't know if this is going to generate money and sales. I don't know what's going to happen. This is maybe a ton of work for nothing, as opposed to some of the things that we're doing for Blue, where it's, you know, it's hard work, but you look at the end and you're like, oh, all of that grid wall is up now, or all these bookshelves are put together, or now there's books on the bookshelves, and it reinforces the idea that you are doing things correctly because there's a visible result for what you've been doing, as opposed to just this hope of like, I hope I didn't waste my time. I wish the spreadsheets are the same way, where, you know, I go through this thing and I put all these quantities in and I pare it down, and then I'm adding it to different spreadsheets and uploading it to different people, and then you start to see, finally, the orders start to come in, you know? Oh, it was in a box of stuff that came in this week that I unpacked, and we're taking it over to Blue, and it's going to go on the shelves, and then, you know, 7 more boxes are going to be showing up in Bucktown, while 20 more boxes are showing up in River North.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up, where there's 7, I get 7 tomorrow to check in, you get 20.
Yeah. And
goodness.
And then there's another entire reorder somewhere between probably 7 and 20 boxes that will show up in Bucktown at some point, I hope. We definitely uploaded it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yep. But yeah, that stuff is coming to an end. Much like the beginning of the month was this huge stress of like getting all the stuff off of Red's bookshelves, out of the system, into boxes, taken over to the new store. Now this is not the stress of, but there's just the like, finally the books are going to show up and all this work is going to have been worth it, and then it's going to be on the shelves for people to buy. But that said, if people come into the store in River North on November 29th, and it seems like we don't have a lot of DC or Image stuff, that means that reorder didn't show up yet. That's what that means. That's the one that we're still waiting on some sort of UPS tracking on, or some sort of email from Diamond to tell us when it's going to get released.
But even the 2 shipments we're getting in both places tomorrow, we didn't get emails from Diamond alerting us. We didn't get UPS tracking. You had to track that down.
Yeah, I've been looking at a lot of the Diamond website stuff for the River North store. I'm stalking that page, basically. Like, I'm constantly looking to make sure stuff got uploaded, that we're seeing the books coming out and getting to us. The good news is this is something that it's because of the quirk of these programs we're using and needing it invoiced through River North, but shipped to Bucktown, that makes everything take a little longer and be a little bit less reliable. But once we hit December, that store is open full time and everything can just get shipped there. And we'll do reorders through there, and we'll be doing initial orders through there, and all of that stuff is just going to be as kind of routine and, you know, easily assignable as the stuff in Bucktown, you know?
Yeah.
It's just right now we're in that thing of like, we're not there every day, so we have to make sure that the stuff shows up when we're going to be there, and vice versa.
We still need to figure out, like, who's doing what jobs on which days now, because we have twice as many jobs to do.
Yeah, I think we talked about that before. I don't know if we ever talked about this on the podcast, but my assumption, and I want to say we'd sort of decided it would be the case, is we're basically just doing the same job. Like, I'm going to be doing the stuff I did at Bucktown on Monday in River North on Tuesday.
Okay.
You know? I'm going to be doing the Bucktown reorder on Sunday, but I'll be doing the River North reorder on Friday or Saturday. I got to figure out to make sure it drops into River North on Tuesday instead of into Bucktown on Wednesday, which is when I'll be unpacking 2 different reorders.
Sure.
And all that sort of stuff. Like, I expect you'll be doing, you know,
Red and Blue's invoices
on Wednesday maybe, or Thursday as well.
Yeah.
And then
that's kind of like working Thursdays now. Mm-hmm. There's no pressure to get the email newsletter out Wednesday, because I can. It doesn't go out till Thursday afternoon. I can do it Thursday morning.
I think the big thing for both of us is figuring out what to do on the 2 extra days we don't normally work or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I've filled in for you on Fridays and Saturdays before, but usually I'll come up with a special project so I can keep myself busy, so I'm not just sitting around. I don't have Saturday tasks, but I can come up with something to work on for a Saturday. But going forward, it's like, well, I'm going to be at River North every Saturday. I kind of need to have stuff to work on. Like, I don't, especially early days, I don't expect it to be that busy.
Thursdays for me will be River North paperwork day, whereas Fridays is Red paper day.
Yeah, like I said, like one of the things I do in Bucktown on Sundays is put together the reorder, and that's usually a multi-step process that takes a little while. I'll just be doing that in River North on Friday, so I'll have to come up with stuff kind of around there because I can't do my normal Sunday Bucktown stuff on Friday in River North because it's time sensitive, kind of.
You can't do it on Friday. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah, I can't move some tasks because some tasks need to be done right before new books are about to come in or whatever. So yeah, it'll be a learning experience. But yeah, going back to something we were talking about earlier, I'm interested in the idea of having to come up with things to do to keep busy on some of those days instead of juggling 2 stores worth of stuff or having to work extra days or extra hours or staying late or making special trips or whatever.
It's funny because we're working more, but we have to do our normal 4 days of one store's tasks in 3 days.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. Although, ish. Yeah, I think it'll shift around a little bit more. So you'll have... I mean, there's tasks we're doing that are global tasks, kind of.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that, like you said, with the emails, like, you're not going to be sending out 2 emails. You're going to be sending out 1 email. And that just means you can have 2 days to work on it now. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
We'll figure it out as we go along.
Yeah.
We did something else we were going to talk about this week, but I think we'll push off till next week.
Okay. I don't remember what it is.
Well, good. But before we go anywhere, I do want to comment on the passing of Tom Lyle. I don't want this to be a thing where we talk about people dying every week.
The in memoriam section of the podcast?
But Tom Lyle...
66 years old.
...was such a major part of 90s comic art.
Yeah, man.
Such an indelible mark on the industry with the Tim Drake character, with designing the Scarlet Spider outfit.
Yeah. I always thought of him, and I'd probably never talked about this, I always thought of him as, like, DC's Ron Lim.
Yeah, that's a perfect comparison.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely I do.
Like a guy who could kind of draw any character, and it was never the flashiest thing, but it was always, like, clear, concise artwork, good storytelling, could work with any writer. Just a good, like, workhorse.
There are, I was going to say, there's certain artists from that time period who meant a great deal to the industry, and I remember reading that his work back then and loving it, but then people get older, tastes change. Like, there is no way Tom Lyle could, producing that level of work, be a big deal today.
Yeah.
And that it's kind of an indictment on the industry as a whole, but art has to change. People's tastes change. So he was able to move on to a secondary career, and I mean, I feel like I'm almost discrediting him by saying this, but he worked at SCAD. He worked at the Savannah College of Art and Design,
which I think is great.
Well, absolutely great. I mean,
he passed along what he'd learned to kids who had no idea, a lot of the tricks that are just second nature to a pro like that.
But I do feel really bad for people that, like, I have a career, I'm making money, I'm doing this. Like your Mark Bagley's, who's also gone.
Mark Bagley?
I'm sorry, not Mark Bagley. I meant Norm Breyfogle. Sorry, I said Mark Bagley. I meant
Mark Bagley.
He's still working. I meant Norm Breyfogle.
No, but you're right, Norm Breyfogle,
who just couldn't get work to save their life today.
I think, and maybe this is an overgeneralization, but I think it has something to do with, like, the work for hire stuff at corporate comics versus, the people who are able to kind of own their own stuff and the indie creators, so to speak, because, like, Los Bros are going to work forever. Like, Love and Rockets is going to come out to the end of time. But the guys who are drawing, like, Batman, they got a real limited shelf life.
Yeah.
Like, they're the ones who unfortunately do not have any control over what they're doing. And so, yeah, when they fall out of fashion or when some younger artist comes in who's got more heat, they're going to lose the ability to work those books, and they don't have enough of, like, an identity as a creator to be able to do their own books. I don't think we'd still be getting Terry Moore comics if Terry Moore had been drawing, like, Spider-Woman or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's to, David Lapham and Terry Moore's and all those creators' credit in the 90s that they went, I want to do my own thing. Like, I'll work on other stuff, but I want to write and draw my own comics. And that's, I think, one of the extra values of the ability for a lot of current creators to do stuff at places like Image and Dark Horse and Aftershock and Boom is having more control of their careers, of being able to sort of find avenues to tell their story, to not have to just be the guy drawing different superheroes at different companies and then finding themselves out of fashion. Hopefully that won't happen to as many creators going forward, but I'm not optimistic. I'm glad that Tom Lyle was able to still contribute to the art form, though. I'm glad he was able to still draw to some degree.
Yeah. And again, he meant a lot to both of us in our comic reading younger days.
Yeah.
So thank you for everything, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
And thank you for listening to what has been an episode of Contest of Challengers, a comic industry business podcast on the Yak Channel Podcast Network. And I paused because I felt like I missed a syllable here and there. But
I think they were all there.
That's good enough. I'm still congested. I got sick last week and have been fighting through it because I can't afford to take any time off for the next 6 to 8 months.
Yeah, I told you you're not allowed to get sick until June of 2020.
That's what you said. That's what you said.
I was very clear.
Yes, you were. Thank you for being clear. And thank you for listening.
Keep reading comics.
This has been Contest of Challengers. Thanks for listening. Keep reading comics. Challengers is located at 1845 Northwestern Avenue in the Bucktown neighborhood of Chicago. 773-278-0155.
And in the River North neighborhood of Chicago at 750 North Franklin Street, number 103, 312-285-2252.
Keep up to date with new releases and events at challengerscomics.com. Like Challengers Comics on Facebook, follow @Challengers on Twitter, and help fund this podcast at patreon.com/challengers.